With State of Origin 2 weeks away and selections right around the corner, I've gone ahead and put together a predicted lineup for both Queensland and New South Wales, starting with the side that'll sweep the series and collect their third series win in a row. Alright, so at fullback, I think it's unanimous amongst everyone that watches the sport. Reece Walsh. He's been on an absolute tear since coming back from his apprenticeship in New Zealand. He's carried on that hectic form from last year, and this year's kicking at a pretty impressive 89.5% and will probably be their first choice kicker. Slotting in on the left wing, I've got Xavier Coates, or as Melbourne should call him, Xavier Coates, as he's racked up quite the highlight reel to start the 2024 season. Now, I thought Taulagi would have this spot cemented, but Coates and his recent form has made him somewhat undeniable. It's tough because Murray Taulagi was actually one of their best during last year's series. In at left centre, another lock in the side, Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow has absolutely taken his game to another level in the State of Origin. For the 3 games he played last season, or last series I should say, his defense was most impressive, missing only 2 tackles out of 55. And at right centre, I've got Val Holmes. I think regardless of form is a lock as well in this back line. Even his goal kicking's taken a bit of a dip. I mean, North Queensland in general have been pretty terrible these past couple months. But I have no doubts once Val puts on that maroon jersey, he'll turn into the beast that we know him as in the arena. And rounding off the back 5 on the right wing, I've got Selwyn Cobbo, who has been absolutely killing it for the Broncos this season, albeit it's at centre. I actually may be surprised if Slater makes the difficult decision of cutting Holmes in favour of the informed Selwyn Cobbo and running a specialist winger on the sting, in this case Murray Taulagi. But for me, I've got Selwyn returning to the right wing. Probably one of a couple of positions I'm a little iffy on, but yeah, we move on. So in the halves, of course, DCE, and replacing the injured Cam Munster, I've got Tom Dearden, who did a job in the 2022 series, and our last series was pretty much the 18th man. So being the next man up, he takes the 6 off Munster. There was some chat about Ezra Mann possibly stepping up, as he's in form as well. I have him joining the squad, but I've got him at 18th man. Now, moving on to the engine room, and another possible headache, as we all know, Queensland missing a couple of gun front rowers in Tommy Flegler and Tino Fa'aso-Maliawi. I've got Lindsay Collins, Harry Grant, and Ruben Cotter. Whether you bench or start Harry Grant, his impact will be felt regardless. As for the big boppers, I think of all available, those are the 2 that I'd want to start with. Lindsay Collins, a classic all-rounder, can do everything, and Ruben Cotter in the middle, just chopping trees, baby, making a million tackles with 0 misses. Moving on to our back row, starting with our left edge back rower, we got an aspiring MTV punked host, professional backflipper, the man that rocketed to the top of Uncle Nick's shit list in record-breaking time, David Fifita. He's been pretty solid for the Titans, especially these last 3 weeks, playing the full 80. And he's been an absolute clamp for opposition right edges, with an insane 95.85% tackle efficiency. On the right side, this is where it gets a little tricky, a little iffy, as I do think it's a 3-horse race between Jeremiah Nanai and a couple of hard-nosed veterans, a couple of dogs. One being Jaden Su'a, who's activated the Monster Reborn card, as he's had a hectic return to form to start this 2024 season. And Felice Kaufusi, who would put a ton of pressure on whoever New South Wales decides to put in that 6 jersey. He's been a bloody menace since joining the Finns, and I low-key wouldn't mind seeing him back in the Maroons. Now, I can't remember if he was dropped completely, or I do remember him being suspended and missing out on game 1. And I think he had some off-field issues to deal with. I think that was last series, or it could have been the year before. Now, if Kaufusi isn't retired from rep footy, he makes my side for that pressure, that non-stop pressure, and that physicality, that presence on the right edge, that aura, if you will. And to wrap up the starting 13, at lock, the lock of locks, Paddy Carey Carrigan. The amount of work he gets through in both attack and defense is crazy. But yeah, not much else to say about Paddy. Like a few others in this team, he's an absolute lock. Moving on to the bench, another shoe-in for the masses most likely. Honestly, until he doesn't want to play rep footy anymore, Ben Hunt. Him and his partner in crime, Harry Grant, whoever starts, it won't really matter, they'll be equally as effective. As for the other 3, I've got Jeremiah Nanai for his crazy attacking ability. He's got to be somewhere in here. For me, that's spark off the bench. For the front row rotation, it's, again, they're missing troops. So I've got Jai Arrow for punch, physicality. He makes my side, and to cap off the 17, Christian Welsh, who kind of flies under the radar for many, I think maybe because of his age, but he makes my 17, a big body, super solid defense, and he has a bit of depth to his game. Always looking for an offload, this lad. I've got him ahead of, say, like a Jermaine Hopgood, who I think if Queensland wanted to throw a curveball, they'd start him at lock, chuck Carrigan in the front row, and maybe keep Lindsay coming off the bench if they want more impact off the bench. But yeah, unfortunately, Hopgood doesn't make my side. Like I said earlier, 18th man, I've got Ezra Mam. And that's about it. That's my predicted lineup, my predicted 17 heading into the first game of the 2024 series. If you have any predictions of your own, let us know in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed that, be sure to run and straight hit that like button. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later.